I have actually, it's not so much a story, it is kind of a brief synopsis of, if you're not aware, the countries of India and Pakistan have had a long-running feud since, I want to say, 1947.
You don't say.
Yeah,
I do, in fact.
Since their creation, probably.
Yeah, since they basically got under the boot of...
Imperialism?
Yeah, imperialism, the British imperialism. In any case, yeah, this is pretty scary because they just a couple of days ago had their first conflict since I want to say either 97 or 99. And they are both currently nuclear powers that are heavily religious.
Which is always a great combination.
Yeah, and just for a little bit of background, the reason that they are at odds is centered mostly around the territory of Kashmir. When they basically split from Britain, they divided along religious lines. So Pakistan was majority Muslim and India was majority Hindu. Kashmir, on the other hand, was a bit of a point of contention because it was majority Muslim, but it was ruled over by a Hindu ruler. So before they were able to basically decide where it was going to fall within the border, how they were going to divide things up, like Pakistani militants kind of invaded and said, hey, we want this territory. Obviously, it's majority Muslim. It belongs to us. The leader reached out to India and said, hey, please help us out. And in return, we won't side with Pakistan. So they are kind of in this in-between space. They are not part of India. They're not part of Pakistan. And so ever since 47, they've gone to war 3 times, full-on war 3 times over Kashmir.
Right.
And yeah.
Right.
So
This makes what, number 4?
Well, I mean, they've had a couple of conflicts that were not full-out war, but full-on war 3 times since 47. I know there's probably a ton of nuance and details that I glossed over, but this is going to be a running story, and as major things develop, we're going to cover them. So that's just a very brief synopsis.
So, if I may
yell at me about all the stuff that I missed.
If I may ask, was there an inciting incident for this one?
I thought I heard there was...
was it related to a pilot?
I think there were shots fired, I think literally. But I don't know whether it was a... further reporting as the story develops, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to...
journalistically
go at the moment, or we're just going to... If things get worse as this, if this develops into a full-on, major conflict... We'll go from there, but it might gloss over. Hopefully.
So basically, historic religious conflict.
Yeah.
We don't want Bronze Age thinking with 21st century weapons. That always
it's sort of
it always ends so well.
Yeah. There's a quote, I forget who said it, and I'm going to paraphrase it. So I guess there's this notion that a person said once that I'm going to butcher now. Which is the problem in today's world is that humans have godlike technology, medieval institutions, and Iron Age brains, or something like that, or Paleolithic brains.
Right.
It's sort of like, fuck, we're all going to die.
That sounds a little bit too accurate for my liking, but
yeah.
In any case,
what I will say is I haven't looked at the mainstream coverage of this, but I'm always annoyed when the mainstream coverage of a religious conflict, they say sectarian instead of religious, because for whatever reason they don't want to say religious conflict or religious war.
It's sectarian violence.
I've personally been more interested in looking into kind of the origin of this conflict than what is specifically going on to incite.
Right now.
To incite what is currently going on. I was like, you know what? I'd rather look at the history of it. And again, feel free to yell at me for all the stuff that I missed.
Yeah. Well, I think you've said
or that I got
there will
wrong.
be more reporting, but there's your primer.
It's one of those horrible things in English. Right? Sectarian means what?
I think it's from sections, although I'm speculating.
Different sections or different beliefs.
You might as well just say factional conflict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose.
All right. So it just seems to me that you can, draw a parallel between secular and our nation is...
Or sect, or it could come from, instead of section, it could come from sect to mean like different sects of religion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
that seems likely.
I think etymologically those are similar, but that doesn't really matter as far as usage.
Let's get into some etymology.
I also like etymology. Calendars are not one of my main nerd interests.
All right.
What do bugs have to do with this? No,
so
sorry.
I think that's a what? No. Oh,
So with
entomology.
All right. So with that.